This is a PodCo original.
Hey there, are you enjoying Full House Rewind? Of course you are. So that means you should follow us. Just click on that, the follow button right there. We love when you follow us. Okay, thanks. You were good friends with some of the actor kids on other shows while we were doing the shows. Who were some of the kids that you hung out with?
So my really good friends were the other kids from Family Matters.
How the heck did you manage that, moving around with 3 kids?
That's when I took time off from acting. Like I didn't act for 10 years. And that's once I had my kids, I was like, okay, I'm full-time mom and supporting my husband's career to go to games and cheer him on. So you just do it.
What brought you back?
I've loved the industry, and I credit you, Bob, and John, and Jeff Franklin, and hundreds of other people who were our Full House family. But you guys gave us the best experience, and I know there's tons of horror stories out there, and I am so empathetic and feel for everyone that has had a bad experience. Like it breaks my heart.
Yeah.
However, I am so grateful and blessed that those aren't our stories, and it made me want to stay in the business.
I would do Fullest House in a heartbeat.
I know.
Want to hear my pitch?
Yeah.
Want to hear what it is?
Yeah, tell me.
Welcome to Season 2, Episode 5 of Full House Rewind. I'm your host, Dave Coulier. And our guest today, returning champion, Candace Cameron Bure, is back for another episode. Candace is a very talented TV and movie actress. I'm getting embarrassed again. Producer, director, and she's also the chief content officer at the Great American Family Channel. You can check out her podcast, the Candace Cameron Bure Podcast, wherever you get your podcasts. Of course, you know her as DJ on Full House and Fuller House. Here's an adorable picture of Candace when Full House was on the air. Isn't that cute? Hi, Poo Poo.
Hi, Poo Poo.
Thank you so much for coming back.
I love being here.
This is another one of your starring episodes, DJ's starring episode. This is DJ's very first horse, and it was directed by Lee Shallett, and this first aired on ABC on November 4th, 1988. And can you read us the little rundown here about this episode?
DJ gets a horse, but goes to great lengths to hide her new pet from her dad.
Oh, boy, you're being sneaky again.
I am. See, this was the little, now it's sneaky DJ. It was smart Alec DJ.
And now it's sneaky
DJ.
Sneaky. DJ's a sneak.
DJ's a sneak.
All right, we're going to describe what's happening in this episode together. I'm going to start us off. Season 2, Episode 5 opens with a teaser in the living room where Joey is asleep on the couch. Michelle enters and licks Joey's face. Cute, I guess. He wakes up, laughs, and tells Michelle to wake him up whenever he's taking a nap. Michelle exits to the kitchen, and Joey goes back to sleep.
The show opens in a horse stable where we see Becky, Kimmy, and DJ, and a Wake Up San Francisco sign is being hung on the wall. Jesse's holding a baby chick and is showing it to Michelle. Jesse grabs a camera and takes an adorable picture of Becky holding Michelle.
Danny enters wearing a straw hat and overalls. Joey approaches, laughs at Danny's outfit, and quickly exits. It was probably one of those.
You were like, ha ha! Totally. DJ and Kimmy are petting a horse. Stephanie enters and says hello to the horse. Joey, hidden under a blanket, responds to her by doing a Mr. Ed impression. Joey then does an Elmer Fudd impression and exits with Stephanie.
I think it was something like, hello, Stephanie.
Yes, it was. Oh my gosh, that's so cute.
That's what I think it was. A stable hand approaches. He tells DJ that the horse named Rocket is looking for a home. Remember that guy?
Yeah, I do.
DJ tells Kimmy that having a horse would be her dream come true. DJ and Kimmy decide that they'll split the cost of caring for the horse. DJ asks Danny if she can have a pet, and Danny tells her that something like a goldfish or a parakeet would be fine.
Danny and Becky start the Wake Up San Francisco broadcast and explain that it's a Saturday edition of the show. Becky tells Danny that he's going to milk a goat on live TV. Becky, being from Nebraska and a farm girl, demonstrates how to milk the goat as Danny watches. Danny awkwardly starts to milk the goat.
And it was awkward. Yes, it was.
Did that goat have a name?
Yeah, Goatee. I think it was. Yeah, I think it was Goatee. We go back to the house and DJ and Kemi discuss how they'll secretly care for the horse for 2 weeks using their allowance money to pay for it.
We cut to the living room where Joey's pretending to let Michelle drive a car by pushing her around in a chair. Jesse and Becky enter as Joey exits with Michelle.
Jesse asks Becky to dinner, but she declines, saying that she has to go home and prep for Monday's show. She also tells Jesse that she really likes having him as a friend. Ooh, cool
friend
down.
zone. We cut to the horse stable where Kimmy and DJ are hand-feeding Rocket. Kimmy exits and we cut to a montage of DJ riding, brushing, and caring for Rocket.
Hair flowing. Yep. We flash forward 2 weeks and we're in the horse stable where DJ is brushing Rocket. Kimmy enters. DJ asks Kimmy for her share of the money to pay for the upkeep for Rocket, but Kimmy reveals that she spent her money at the mall already and exits. Nice friend.
So Kimmy. The stable hand enters and DJ reveals that she only has $50 to pay for the horse, leaving her $50 short. DJ's heartbroken.
We cut back to the house where Stephanie and her friend Harry are playing in the kitchen. Jesse enters with groceries.
We cut to the living room where we see DJ standing next to Rocket. Jesse quickly discovers the horse is in the living room and is dumbfounded. Joey enters and is equally surprised.
Danny enters and sees Rocket standing in the living room.
The amount of animals standing in the living room.
Standing in the living room. DJ confesses that she's been taking care of the horse for the past 2 weeks. DJ and Danny exit as Jesse rides the horse out of the living room and into the kitchen.
He does?
Yes.
What?
Yes.
We cut to DJ's room. Danny admonishes DJ for her lies and deception and getting Stephanie involved in the scheme. He tells DJ that she must give up the horse.
We cut to the horse stable where DJ is saying goodbye to Rocket. La, 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 la. Becky enters and announces that she's Rocket's new owner. Turn of events. Danny enters holding Michelle. DJ asks Danny if she can take care of Rocket, and Danny says okay.
Aw, we cut to a slow motion sequence of DJ riding Rocket.
And that is what happens in DJ's first horse. Thank you for the help. Do you remember this episode?
I remember parts of it. I remember being in the stable. I remember the animals. I remember everyone dressing up kind of like farmers. I didn't remember the end of that episode, though, because if Becky owned the horse, how come DJ didn't have other...
No, it's DJ on the horse. It's
no,
DJ.
But I'm saying Becky now owns the horse.
Right. So
I'm saying we should have seen other episodes with Rocket if she's the one that owned Rocket. I'm a little sad about that.
Maybe they left the gate open and Rocket took off. Went to another sitcom.
He might have.
Might have gone somewhere else. I don't know. Maybe he went
I loved riding that horse, though. I remember we rode the horse in Griffith Park.
That had to be a fun day. Mm-hmm. You get to go to work and ride a horse.
Yeah.
Okay, I need an update.
Okay.
How are the kids, Natasha, Lev, and Max doing?
They're so great.
They're such nice kids.
Thank you.
You have nice kids.
And not kids anymore.
I know.
Because
they're
all adults. And Lev is now married.
And congratulations.
Thank you.
That is so nice. Are they talking grandkids?
They definitely would love to have kids. So I don't know about the timing, but I can't wait to be a grandma one day.
Grandma Candace.
Candace.
You will scoop that little baby up.
Oh my goodness.
That little munchkin.
Yep.
This episode, of course, DJ's first horse. Were you always an animal person?
Yeah.
Because you've always had dogs and...
So you know what we had growing up?
Hamster?
Parakeet? We had several hamsters.
Hamsters.
We had a pet rat named Smokey.
Pet rat?
We had a pet rat named Smokey. And then we had so many snakes. And that was because of my brother. So we had so many boa constrictors. We had two 10 and 12 foot Burmese pythons. We had so many snakes.
What did they eat the rat ever?
They didn't eat that rat, but they ate rats.
Oh.
It is going to be gross. They ate rabbits too.
Oh,
so
man.
it was a sad time. But one day we came home because we had 3 hamsters. One for me, one for my sister Bridget, one for my sister Melissa. We thought they were all girls. Turns out one was a boy.
Ooh.
So one day we had like
more hamsters.
15 hamsters, little baby hamsters in there. And then another day we came home from school and we went to go see the baby hamsters. And we were like, there were 15. How come there's only 7 baby hamsters? Kirk.
No.
We went to Kirk and he's like, what? My snakes were hungry. And he fed the hamsters, the baby hamsters to the snakes.
There was a song, I forget who sang, I don't like spiders and snakes. That's me. That was a true song.
One day, sorry.
Yeah.
We're going to keep going. My brother dropped off a tarantula that just happened to be in his house, like a huge tarantula, and just dropped it off on our front porch in a little container and was like, happy day from your bro, like with a bow on it. And we thought, oh, he baked us some cookies. But no, there's a tarantula inside.
He was a spiders and snakes guy. God, spiders and snakes. Oh man, that's like my nightmares are like a spider's crawling on my head.
Yeah.
I'm like, I wake up, you know.
Yeah.
You were good friends with this is a segue from spiders and snakes living in your house. You were good friends with some of the actor kids on other shows while we were doing the shows. Who were some of the kids that you hung out with? Because they were on our set. They would, they were on the same lot and they would visit.
Yeah. So my really good friends were the other kids from Family Matters. So Jaleel White and Darius McCrary and Kelly Williams, like those were my people.
So you guys were teenagers by then, right? Or
we
be.
were. Yeah, probably like 14, we started hanging out.
Right.
And then up until when we were all driving,
So were you hanging out outside of the set too?
We were.
I mean,
I hung out quite a bit with Jaleel.
Yeah.
Because we were really good buddies.
He was a nice kid.
So nice.
He was so different from his character.
Yeah.
Oh,
so
Urkel.
different. So different. And his parents are lovely people. And my parents really liked his parents. And they all felt comfortable because you have a little bit of that test of like, okay, we know that kid actors and kids actors' parents can be crazy. So you have conversations and you figure out like, are these people sane? Are they okay?
We've seen them.
So Jaleel's parents, great people, would talk to my parents and it was like, okay, sure. And then you guys can go hang out.
Yeah, that's nice.
So we hung out all the time. And
I always thought it was really nice that you had peers to hang out with, that there were other kids doing the same thing you were doing and they were nice kids.
I know. And I loved being able, if we had our lunch break, I would just go walk on over to Family Matters and be like, hey, hi. It was cool to have some new faces to hang out with.
Now, this is one of my favorite stories that I get to tell about you. I introduced you to your husband, Val.
Yes.
Who, for those of you who don't know, was a hockey star in the NHL. So how many years have you guys been together now?
We've been together 29 years. We've been married 27. It'll be 28 really soon.
Wow. And I can remember that day. I want to go back to that day at the charity hockey game at the Forum.
Thanks for Candace.
Thanks for Candace. I'm going to tell that story too. We went to the Forum in LA and it was you, me, Bob, and Lori, right? Mm-hmm. And we went to the charity hockey game and you tell the story. I mean,
was John there or was John not there? John was not there.
But I had played kind of a scrimmage with them.
Yeah.
With Val and his brother Pavel.
Yeah.
We had played in a scrimmage the day before, and they said, we learned how to speak English by watching Full House in reruns. And I was like, that is fantastic. And they were like, how are the girls? And I was like, they're good. And I said, I can invite them to the game, and their eyes lit up because I think Pavel was like attracted to Lori, and Val was just goo about you. And so we went to the game. So take it.
We did. I remember you said like, do you want to go to the game? And there are these 2 really nice Russian hockey players that are really good. And and you were gonna said I'll introduce you to them, and I'm like, okay. And I was like, Lori, are you going? And she goes, yeah, I'll go. So I'm like, okay, great. If we all go together, I'll go. And Lori and I sat at that game kind of up by the glass, and we were watching you and Bob. It was funny, but then we kept going, okay, Bure, looking for the jersey, you know?
Right.
And then I was like, ooh, I like the one with the blonde hair because it was like flowing out from under the helmet and the breeze was hitting it. And I'm like, oh, that's a good mullet. So
it's a good mullet. You heard it here. Okay.
So yeah, we met backstage and you introduced me to both
That's
of
the
them.
locker room. That's not backstage.
Oh, sorry.
That's the locker room. Yeah,
I
hockey
always-
players. Yeah, I'm going backstage. You want to go? Yeah.
Val tells me that every time. I'm like, yeah, the locker room. So we met, and then it was like, oh, there was the kind of the after party where there was food and
yeah, it was a banquet.
a meet and greet after.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
That's what it is. So we said, oh, we'll go meet you there. Well, we were there. We kind of had some food and we hung out, and enough time went by and I never saw them.
Yeah.
And it was like, okay, well, we're ready to leave. So as we were going down the escalator, up were coming Val and Pavel. And we were like, wait. So they hopped on the escalator and went back down.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And Val asked for my number and I gave it to him. And then he called me the next morning at like
Of
10
course he
a.m.
did.
and was like, do you want to go to lunch? And I said, hold on, let me call you back. And I called Lori and I go, he invited me to lunch. I've never been on a date with someone that I don't know before. Do you want to come to lunch with me? And she was like, well, sure, I'll go with you. So I said, can Lori come too? And Val said, sure, I'll see if my brother wants to come then. And so the four of us went to lunch the next day in Santa Monica.
Yeah. I remember when I saw you two lock eyes. It was like Lady and the Tramp when they both get the piece of spaghetti and they look at each other.
He was so cute.
Yeah,
He was so cute.
Yeah, I had a hunch, you know, I don't know what it was, but then you become the wife of a hockey player. And it was just
You were so proud, Dave.
I really was.
Yeah.
I really was, you know, because my experience in life is hockey guys are just good guys.
Yeah.
They're just good guys. They're down to earth. They're just, you know, even though they're stars in their profession, there's just kind of a down to earth kind of good guy
for sure.
feeling about a lot of hockey players. So I was like, she's in good hands,
Yep.
you know?
Do you remember we took a picture for People magazine and it was the Valentine's edition and
was
it was
in a
like
tree.
Cupid.
I was in a tree with an arrow
a
with
bow and
wings.
arrow, and Val and I were.
You guys are lovebirds down in the little love seat down there. Yes, I do remember that. But you guys moved around a lot, right? Because Val played in Montreal when you first met, Calgary,
briefly,
Florida.
Florida.
Because I
briefly.
visited you guys in Florida.
Mm-hmm.
I was doing a club date
Yeah.
down there, and I came over to your house.
Yep.
And I don't know how old the kids were, or if the kids.
They were all born because
Were
Max
they
was
all
born
born?
in Florida.
Okay,
They're
all right. And then he played in St. Louis and Dallas.
And
So-
then briefly LA, but
Yeah.
but kind of not. He signed with
Right.
LA and then
Yeah.
had a career-ending injury in preseason.
How the heck did you manage that, moving around with 3 kids? I mean,
Some
that's
of
a
it's
challenge.
I know. Some of it's a blur, but that's when I took time off from acting. Like I didn't
Right.
act for 10 years. And
I
that's
know.
once I had my kids, I was like, okay, I'm full-time mom and supporting my husband's career
Yeah.
to go to games and cheer him on. So you just do it. Like all the ladies, we just do it.
You're so good. You're just a good soul. You're just a good soul, poo-poo.
Thank you.
I want to talk about this phase of your life because I find it
Okay.
extremely interesting, and I'm so proud of you and so happy for you. And it's a good feeling. It's a good feeling. Someone you love, seeing them do really
Yeah.
well, and you're so passionate about what you do. Because what we just talked about, you go from being a wife and a mom, and then you suddenly come back into show business, which I wasn't sure if you were ever going to. I was like, oh, Candace has a really nice life.
Yeah.
She's got 3 really nice kids and a husband, but you came back.
Yep.
What brought you back?
Truthfully, I've loved the industry and I credit you, Bob, and John, and Jeff Franklin, and I mean, hundreds of other people who were our Full House family. But you guys gave us the best experience. And I know there's tons of horror stories out there. And I am so empathetic and feel for everyone that has had a bad experience. Like, it breaks my heart.
Yeah.
However, I am so grateful and blessed that those aren't our stories. And it made me want to stay in the business. So I took a break because I wanted to raise my kids, but I always had the desire that if the doors would open again when it felt like the right time to come back, that I would. And
because 10 years is a long time.
I know.
And people forget like that.
Totally.
You know, but you did it. I mean, was Dancing with the Stars kind of the first big thing that ushered you back? I'm trying to remember.
Well, I actually was on this show for 3 years on ABC Family called Make It or Break It.
Right.
That was about gymnastics. And that was kind of like, I had done a couple of Hallmark movies, and then I was on that show for 3 years.
Yeah.
And then some more Hallmark movies.
Was that here in LA?
Yes.
Was that okay?
Yeah,
that was
it was
all
in LA.
Okay,
It was in LA.
right.
So we had actually moved back
So you
once
were
Val
here in
retired
LA. Okay,
from
all right.
hockey.
Okay.
And that was also the tipping point. Val retired from hockey, which then allowed us to come back to LA. And then I would say that Dancing with the Stars is what put me back on the map in homes, like every week for that period of time. And it's such a massive, huge show. And I love that show so much.
Yeah, I watched you.
Yeah.
I could never do that.
Things kind of, I wish that you would, but we've talked about this so many times, and I know you don't want to.
I know, because I'm not a dancer.
I loved it.
And then you did The View.
Then
for
two seasons.
2 seasons on The View, which is a grind. That's an everyday, job.
It's 5 days a week, and I was commuting to
in
New York.
In New York. That is
Flying
really
back to
tough.
LA on the weekends.
And then you start this journey of starring in an insane amount of Christmas movies and Aurora Teagarde mystery movies.
Yeah.
What a ride. I mean, that was just like an insane amount of work, right?
Yeah,
I mean, it
over
was
the
a lot.
time that I was there, I did 30 movies.
Yeah, that's an insane amount of work.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think people realize just how much you are running as fast as you can to keep up with production and working like that, because that's an insane schedule.
Yeah. And that it was a lot. And also Fuller House had come back
right
at that time while I was doing The View and I was doing the movies.
Well, let's talk about that because I got a call from Stamos. And he said, I'm talking to people talking about the thing and they want to bring the show back. And I'm like, well, what? And he was like, they want to bring the show back. And I go, what show? I'm playing golf. Yeah. And so he started to tell me, they want to bring Full House back. And I was just like, is anything concrete yet? He goes, it's just talking, but are you interested? And I said, well, of course. Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course I am. And then it started to become a real thing. And then it was a real thing.
Yeah.
And it was just, for me, very surreal.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure. I mean, you guys were in early talks about the show. You were kind of formulating what the new series was going to be, Full House 2.0. But for me, it was kind of like, we'll get Joey, so I was kind of getting little bits and pieces of it. And then all of a sudden it was like, it's on. And I was like, oh, okay, this is real, Yeah. But what a ride that was to be able to.
Incredible.
I mean, you had a 10-year hiatus. We had a way longer hiatus from doing Full House to Fuller House.
Yeah.
But you put a lot of those pieces together for the new show.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I have said this many times, probably not to you, but just in the media, of how proud I was of you guys.
Thank you.
How great I thought you were, because from being a comedian, I looked at the way you guys tackled comedy, and I was so proud. It was just like, wow, they're really funny. You guys were really funny. And
Thanks.
I was so proud of that. I'm tearing up a little bit. But it just made me so happy that you guys were so good
We had great teachers.
Well, I don't know if I was a teacher. I'm sure,
Still,
but,
little eyes are always watching, so you're leading by example, whether you're trying to or not.
but you guys were so good, and it made me happy that you were being respectable, I guess is the word, kind of, you were upholding the franchise in a great way,
Well, that was really important to me. So in those earlier talks, because Jeff Franklin is the one that came and said, hey, Jody, Andrea, Candace, can we have lunch together? And it was like, yeah, let's talk about this. And I think all of us were like, I'm in, like, yes, let's do this.
Yeah.
But because I had been back in the business for a bit, and I've been in family-friendly television my whole life, and I've never wanted to steer from that. I've had the offers to
Me
do
too.
that,
Yeah.
and I choose not to. I choose to be in family entertainment. So it was really important to me that the Fuller House brand kept
You stayed true to the brand.
stayed
you really
true
did.
to its
I don't want to put
original.
words in your mouth, but you did.
The original show, that it's a show that families can watch together and enjoy and laugh. And like, obviously we understand times are more contemporary, so there'll be more contemporary themes.
Yeah.
But so anyway, I would go back and do Fullest House or Fuller House, whatever. I wish it never ended. Just being with all of you guys, and then was amazing.
Yeah, and it was my first directorial show that I did on a sitcom, and you too as well. And Andrea wrote an episode, which I was so proud of her for doing. And you guys were so fun to direct, because being on the other side of the camera, as you know, is a totally different headspace. You're trying to make sure that you stay true to the story that you're trying to tell, but you're also trying to give your actor something.
Yeah.
And you guys, you go, Candace, do that. And you're like, got it. Boom. And it was
there's
just
a
easy.
shorthand. There's a shorthand with all of us, because we know the characters so well. We all pretty much know what we want to see.
That's a good way to describe it.
And we're all visionaries, because we've also been working those sets for so long. So you can say it in shorthand, and we're like, we understand what you're needing from us. However, can I just say, we laughed at you every time you would direct, in a loving way, because it was like, Dave is so funny. You are so funny all the time. Dave's always funny all the time. But then there's this whole other side of Dave, and I like to call it Pilot Dave, because Dave also took me flying up in your plane one time.
Yes,
and it
I
was
did,
like the first time I saw serious Dave, because he was flying a plane, and you're
I'm really not that serious.
You're not messing around. I mean, not like just like professional serious. Just calm and controlled, and like not throwing the jokes because you're flying a plane.
Yeah.
So when you directed, I was like, Pilot Dave is directing.
Yeah.
Pilot Dave directed.
Well,
so it was fun. And then when you were only actor Dave on some episodes, then I was like, this is Dave.
He's back.
But then Pilot Dave would direct.
Well, I have those two hemispheres up here that are constantly.
You have to. That's why you did it well.
Yeah, well, that's really nice of you to say. I would do Fullest House in a heartbeat.
I know.
Want to hear my pitch?
Yeah.
Want to hear what it is?
Tell me.
It's all of us.
Yeah.
We're all adults.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like Friends.
Okay.
It's kind of like Friends.
We are adults.
Because we are adults now. But we update it to, we've all moved into a couple of houses away from each other.
Okay.
Because we can't move away from each other. And
we live in a cul-de-sac?
Yes, we live in the cul-de-sac.
Okay.
So we're just in each other's lives, like Seinfeld and Friends. But we keep Danny Tanner alive by doing flat. Remember that time Danny? What would
like
Danny
Flat
do
Stanley?
right now?
Is that what you were
Not
gonna
like
say?
Flat Stanley. Flat Danley.
Flat Danley.
No, it's we just cut back and we relive moments with Bob.
Okay.
So it might be some, using some earlier footage from the show, but we kind of get to keep Bob alive.
Just his memory. And by
Absolutely.
talking about him all the time,
Absolutely.
we're like, remember when Dad did this? Or Dad would probably say this right now.
Yes. And we just write really funny scripts that revolve around our lives now, where we can't get out of each other's lives.
I'm in, man.
Yeah.
I'm in.
I think it'd be really fun.
Me too.
I would do it in a heartbeat.
Me too.
Now, Candace is a big shot executive. You're an exec at GAC. I'm so proud of you.
Thank you.
I really am so proud of you. And I know your life is really hectic, juggling a lot of stuff right now. What's coming up with your projects there? Tell us about what a typical day is being an executive. You're spinning a lot of plates, I know.
I am.
What's coming up?
Well, Great American Family Channel, we have, I am launching a new mystery series, like a series of movies that are mysteries. So
nice.
That's really wonderful. Of course, we're like Christmas all the time.
Right.
My company also produces several other movies with other actors that I love doing.
Do you enjoy it?
Oh, I love producing so much. So much so that I'm like,
I had to ask, but you can tell.
Yeah, I would. I still like acting, and I don't know that I'll stop, but I really enjoy producing movies, and I just enjoy having all of the creativity and the input, but I don't have to put my actor cap on. So I don't have to memorize lines and actually be in front of the camera. So producing is very much a sweet spot for me.
Did you bring your actor cap today? I would love to see it. Do we have one?
Do I get to win an actor cap, please?
Maybe. I think you already won one.
Some days I forget. Am I an actor? Am I a producer? But yeah, we're also growing Great American Family Channel. I'm so proud of it. I'm proud to be
That's awesome.
A part of it and provide more really wonderful family programming for people to watch.
So how do we find it? It's a separate channel. Like if I go to DirecTV, you just go to GAC and you find it?
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
DirecTV or Dish. However, you can also find it on other streaming platforms if you don't have cable, but it is a cable channel. But there's other platforms like Friendly TV or Philo TV. And, you pay a couple bucks a month and then you have access to these channels. And then we also have a streaming channel, our sister channel, which is Great American Pure Flix.
Oh, okay. So I did a series for them.
Did. Your series is on Great American Pure Flix.
Yeah.
So you could watch that there. But
they
it is
canceled
separate.
us, but I thought I was funnier than that. But
it is separate from the cable channel. Some of the content is shared, but they exclusively have their own programming as well.
Can you tell the kids, and I miss Val, I was thinking about him today, how I'd like to sit, we have the greatest conversations, and tell him I miss him, say hi to the kids.
I will.
Tell Max to, do a sound effect for me, Yeah, well, don't do a real one. Oh, there we go.
I can't, wait, hold on.
Oh, wait, hold on.
Good.
Okay, ready? Now I see where that was a good one. That was a good one. That was a good one.
Okay, this is all the school of Dave Coulier, by the way.
Tell your mom and dad I said hi.
I will.
And you know what? We're going to leave on a high note. But before we go, we get to, here's a segue. Here we go. Let's play a little game.
Loving scene.
Okay, should we play a little game?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, okay. All right. This is a game called Horse Feathers. In this episode, of course, DJ falls in love with a horse named Rocket. So Candace, I'm going to ask you some questions about horses. See how many you get correct, okay? You're going to win. Okay. I just know. I know you're going to win.
Do you just say this to all of your guests?
No. Come on. Really? Get out of here. Okay, horse feathers. In this episode, DJ falls in love with a horse named Rocket. So I'm going to ask you some questions about horses. All right, here we go. Question 1. You ready? In this episode, Joey and Stephanie both do impressions of Mr. Ed, who was a talking horse on the TV series of the same name in the 1960s. What did the Mr. Ed crew use to make Mr. Ed's lips move to make it look like he was talking? Did they use carrots, honey, or peanut butter?
Well, I was going to say carrots. Is it peanut butter? I want to...
It is peanut butter.
Okay.
Yes, it is. Ding, 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 ding. Nailed it. Okay. This wasn't the only episode where we had a 4-legged horse-sized animal. We talked about this in the house. The other time was when Michelle brought a donkey home. What was the donkey's name in that episode?
Oh.
Not tall, but...
Shorty.
Ding, ding, ding.
Don't you have a dog named Shorty?
Yes, and I have a dog named Shorty. He's so cute. Okay, you're rolling. All right, here we go. Question number 3. You're going to get this. In the movie The Princess Bride, what was the name of the horse?
Why do you say I'm going to get certain answers when I have no clue? Was it like the White Stallion or something?
No, that was a totally different thing.
I know Princess Bride, but I don't know what the name of the horse.
You just said it. Horse. Oh,
Horse!
see
It's
that?
horse.
Oh, man. This is a Cinderella story going on with this game. Okay, here we go. Question number 4. You got 3 right already. Okay. Sometimes when you pet a horse, they feel sweaty. That's because horses sweat. How much can a horse sweat per hour? 1 cup, 2 cups, or up to 4 gallons per hour?
Up to 4 gallons.
Ding, 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 ding. Isn't that crazy?
That
4
is
gallons
crazy.
Of sweat? Okay, here we go. You're one more,
Okay.
and you're going for the sweep.
Okay.
Here we go. All right.
Let's do this.
Do horses remember people?
Yes.
Yes, they have an impressive memory and can remember human faces and past experiences. Everyone's a winner here.
Yay!
Oh my gosh. All right, here we go. Here we go. Here's look at that. There's your prize.
Cut it out.
Yes, another cut it out t-shirt.
Oh, I love it.
Unbelievable.
I love it.
We're gonna do one more thing
Okay.
before you go. All right. So every episode of Full House, all right, had a little heartfelt scene.
Yes.
So from season 2, episode 5, we're gonna read this together.
Cut it out.
You got your little script there. This
Yep.
is Danny and DJ are in the girls' room. I'm gonna be playing the role of Danny.
Okay.
And get this, you're gonna be playing DJ.
DJ's always getting in trouble.
Well,
She's making some bad decisions.
she was a smart aleck.
She was.
You know, it was
And then a
talked about.
sneaky Alec.
All right, ready? All right. Okay, let's cue the music. Here we go. Okay, there. Good, perfect. All right. Danny says, the past 2 weeks has been nothing but lies, hasn't it?
Yeah.
You're acting.
I'm acting. I'm
So-
kid acting right now. Yeah.
So- How will I ever know when you're telling me the truth?
I don't know. I'm sorry, Dad. All I could think about was getting the horse. I want you to trust me again. What can I do?
Well, I don't know, DJ, but I want you to know, even if you do something I don't like, I'm always going to love you. We'll find a way to work this out.
You're still gonna punish me, aren't you?
Oh, yeah, big time.
What about Rocket?
What would you do if you were me?
I'd definitely keep him.
Well, I'm sorry, honey, but you have to give up the horse. And the scene ends on that sour note.
Only for Becky.
Only
To buy
for
the horse.
Only for Becky to let the horse run free. I love you so much.
I love you
And
too.
thank you for being here. It means the world to
Yay.
me. And audience, we have to say goodbye. Candace Cameron Bure. Yay!
Hey! Bye.
Here are some of my thoughts about season 2, episode 5. Watching this episode for the first time, I remember talking with our Full House writers about the Mr. Ed impression. I wondered if a voice from a TV show in the 1960s was still relevant in the late 1980s. Looking back now, it was just a funny voice. I'm not sure how many of our Full House audience could recall Mr. Ed, a very funny sitcom that I watched when I was a kid. Though it was funny seeing Jodie Sweetin do a copycat of my impression in this episode. I remember how much the kids loved having a horse on our stage. They spent endless hours petting and talking to the horse. There's a saying in show business, never work with kids or animals. I couldn't have found my experience on Full House further away from that saying. I loved working with our Full House kids and just about every animal that ever graced our stage. We'd like to hear your thoughts about Full House. Tell us about your favorite episode or just why you love the show so much. Or maybe you got a question for me. Send it along. Shoot a short video and email us the link to it at socials@podco.us. We close every episode of Full House Rewind by giving all of you who need it a hug. This week, our hug goes out to all of you who love animals. I love animals. We have 3 dogs at our house, Ziggy, Shorty, and Cooper, and I love them dearly. And sometimes when I'm away from them for a couple of days, I start to miss their cute little quirks and wagging tails and kisses. So for all of you who are missing your pet right now, this Full House hug goes out to you. Come on, bring it in. Here we go. Little doggy, kitty, hamster, parakeet, whatever you have, hug. That's our show. We'd like to thank our special guest, Candace Cameron Bure, for stopping by. Join us next time here on Full House Rewind, and you can watch all of our episodes on our Full House Rewind YouTube channel. So long, everybody. Thank you so much for watching this episode of Full House Rewind. We'll see you next week.